In this lesson, we're going to look at comparing and ordering rational numbers. Remember in the last lesson, we learned what a rational number was. We're going to take a look at this side first. We're going to compare decimals and fractions. And so those are positive and negative rational numbers that can be represented on a number line. You can use a number line to help you compare and order rational numbers. Now, if you don't need a number line, then don't worry about using it. First thing we're going to look at when we're comparing, that means we're going to use the less than, greater than, or equal to. So the first thing we're going to look at is this sign. This one's negative, this one's positive. Therefore, I'm not even going to look at the number line because I know a negative number is smaller than a positive number. So this one is less than. Let's take a look at the next one. We have negative 1.40 is what to negative 1.25. Okay, if I'm negative $1.40, that means I have less money than if I added negative $1.25. So this is also less than. Okay, let's look at this next one. We have two fractions. This is negative 7/9, and this is negative 5/8. I'll write that bigger so you can see it. When we are doing fractions, we need to make sure we're getting a common denominator. So I know that both of those can go into 72. So I'm going to rewrite this. To make 9 into 72, I have to multiply by 8. So 7 times 8 is 56. 8 times 9 is 72. Then I'm going to multiply this one by 9, so I get 72 on the bottom. And 5 times 9 is 45. Remember, they were negative, so let's make sure we put those back on there. Okay, now we have to think which one would be closer to 0. So we're just going to look at the top numbers now because the bottom are the same. So negative 56, is that greater than or less than negative 45? Negative 45 is farther on the right-hand side, so this number over here is larger. This number is smaller, so this is another less than. And our last one on this side, we have negative 12 and 14 over 15, and then negative 13. The fraction doesn't even matter in this one because this whole number is different than this whole number. So we're just going to take a look at the whole numbers. Negative 12 is going to be closer to 0, so this one is greater than. You see, if you need to use a number line, you can, but I didn't need to in this case, and I don't think many of you do. But if you need to, that's okay. Okay, let's look at the second part. We compare and order rational numbers. It says to compare and order rational numbers, first write them in the same form. So if you see this one is a fraction, this one's a decimal. So we want to write them so they're in the same way. I'm going to choose to write this one in both fraction form. So 1/10 turns into 1 over 10. And now we want these to be the same number, so I'm going to change them into 70. So I'm going to multiply this one by 10. So it's 30 over 70. And I'm going to multiply this one by 7. And I get 7 over 70. And they're both negative. They're both 31, so that one, the whole number doesn't matter in this one. And we know that negative 30 is farther away than negative 7 from 0, so this is less than. Okay, don't let this next one fool you. Even though there's the same numbers there, this one's a fraction and this one's a decimal. I'm going to change them. Well, before you do anything, let's look. This one has a whole number. This one does not have a whole number, so that means that this one is going to be closer to 0, so this one is greater than. These last two we're going to be ordering from least to greatest. That says least to greatest. You need to make sure that you are choosing the same form for them. The first thing I'm going to look for, though, is which ones are whole numbers and which ones are negative, because I know the whole numbers will be greater. So I'm going to make 4 little blanks here for my 4 numbers. I'm going to do my positive ones first. So these are my 2 positive numbers. I'm going to put P on top for positive, so I know. So we have 6.23 and 6.04. I know 6.04 will come on this positive one, and 6.23 will be right here. Now I'm going to take a look at these two because they're negative. I know, because I have it memorized, that 1/4 is 6.25, so we have negative 6.25. The smallest number, therefore, is negative 6.3, and then we go into negative 6 1/4. Always rewrite them with the original number, not what you change it into. So let's take a look at this next one. I'm going to draw my 4 blanks. Ooh, drew a little big on this one. I'm going to look at my positive numbers first, because I find this to be easier. I have this guy and this guy. I need to change them either both to fractions or to decimals. I'm going to change them into fractions. So 14, the 4 is in the 100 spot, so that's 14 over 100. And I'm going to change 5 into 100 by multiplying by 20. So I have 20 over 100. And so this number is actually larger because it's 20. So 1 1/5 is the largest number. I'm going to cross that off. Then we go into 1.14. Then we'll cross that off. These two are negative numbers. I'm going to change them both to fractions. 0.23, the 3 is in the 100 spot. So, no, not fractions. I'm going to change 1/6 into a decimal. So I'm going to do 1 divided by 6. I'm going to come down here on the bottom so I don't mess up my room. I have 1 divided by 6, decimal 0. 6 goes into 10 once. So, and then 6 goes into 43 times. 36. Not 3 times, sorry. 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Add a 0, bring it down, and that's going to be repeating. So, this is negative 1.16 repeating. So this one is going to be closer to 0. So this one's right here. And then this one is actually our smallest number. Oops. Sorry, I didn't rewrite that one like I was supposed to. Negative 1 1/6. So we have just like that. Remember, if you need more help, Khan Academy and YouTube are great resources, or you can always come in on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday morning.